When you're planning a planting recipe for an autumn winter pot, something that's going to give you interest through those colder months of the year leading right up till spring, it's worth looking for a combination of things. I am going to choose this lovely variegated euphorbia or spurge called Ascot Rainbow, because it's got a lovely variegated leaf which will carry right the way through winter, and as we move through spring it will start developing flowers at the tips of all of these shoots and put on a lovely flowering display. So this will keep going right the way through. This will be a feature plant at the back of the display. In contrast to that, I'm going for some berries, and today I'm going to use this nice Patio, sometimes called Gaultheria mucronata. You can get them with white berries. This one's got a beautiful sort of pinkish purple berry, but you'll find different coloured varieties around. Buy them in the autumn when they're absolutely plastered with berries, and these will be carried right through into winter. It will go on holding these berries for many months, but usually at some point during the winter the blackbirds in particular will find them, and it will provide some welcome food for them. And then for flower and also some evergreen foliage, I've chosen a little Skimmia called Rubella, which has got flower buds developing now, and these buds will be carried right through winter and they will gradually open in the spring. Now I've chosen a decent sized pot, a good 14 to 15 inches across. This is a terracotta one, and as terracotta is a porous material and can lose moisture through its sides, I've actually lined it with some bits of old compost bag before I filled it with a peat-free multi-purpose compost. And this compost bag just stops the pot losing moisture, essentially in summer, but also useful through autumn. And the pot itself has got good drainage holes in the bottom. Now I'm using a peat-free multi-purpose compost. The plants won't need much nutrition during the winter, but you want a compost which is free draining but also retains some moisture during the winter months. I do hope you're enjoying this video, and if you are, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by clicking the button below. There's plenty more inspiring videos on my channel, Adam's Gardening Guides. Thank you. And I'm going to plant in this way today. I'm going to take each of the individual plants, like this euphorbia, and just remove the plant from its pot, because what I like to do when I'm planting things up is use the pot itself as a template to drop the root ball of the plant into. Now this euphorbia is going to go towards the back of the pot, so I'm going to position it here, and I want the surface of the root ball of the plant to be a couple of centimetres, about an inch below the rim of the pot itself. Now this nice burying Patio, just take the pot itself and again sink it down into the pot, get the level about right, and fill in around with some of the peat-free compost. And lastly, a little pot from the Skimmia. I'm going to use that beautifully rooted little plant. Look at that. And this will be put in about here. So now what I'm going to do is to fill in around these pots with compost. There we go, last bit of compost. Firm it down really well around the pots with your fingertips, because I want the compost to stay in place when I remove the pots. So with the compost filled in, just slip the pots out, and this will leave some little planting holes. Then all you've got to do is to get the plants and drop them down into their planting holes. Like that. Simple. Now the reason I do that is that sometimes when a pot is full of plants, it's difficult getting compost in and pushing it around without damaging the plants themselves. So I find that this method of making a nice little planting hole and then just being able to drop the root ball of the plant down into it is just a simple way of planting up containers. Tease that up, pop this little Skimmia down into place, and there we have it. Now I'm just going to fill in around with a little bit more compost and the planting is done. Just got to water everything in to settle the compost. That's my nice little winter display.